Test.io offers Test.io offers
the Ghostbusters. Here come the fellow testers. We are gonna shake and dig. We are gonna make this big. Those bags have no chance, not even at the first glance. We are hungry for some more. We are gonna leave the score. Customers will pay us high, and no one can deny. Our pockets are almost full. That is much better than no.
Our hands are made of steel. No bug can make us fear. We live to crash the apps with only a few taps. Our crowd will make some sound for the champ that will be found. All will learn something new, testing with an awesome crew. Raise your hands and show respect to those who our victory expect. Make staff members proud by crashing those apps loud. Our crowd will make some sound for the champ that will be found. All will learn something new, testing with an awesome crew. Raise your hands and show respect to those who our victory expect. Make staff members proud by crashing those apps loud. Our crowd will make some sound for the champ that will be found. All will learn something new, testing with an awesome crew. Raise your hands and show respect to those who our victory expect. Make staff members proud by crashing those apps loud.
Hello and welcome. Arise, arise, riders of Theoden, fell deeds awake, fire and slaughter, spear shall be shaken, shield be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Right now, ride to Gondor. Welcome everyone, welcome to the Testing Cup final. I'm Stefan. I'm community manager here at Test.io, and I'm joined tonight, this day, by Yuliya and Zorica for the beginning. We will have a great show full of guests, full with different teams for this Testing Cup final. Hi Yuliya, hi Zorica.
Hi, Stefan. Hi, Zorica. Hi, dear community, and everyone who's watching us live now. I'm super excited to be here today because it's a very important event for our community, and I think that we're all thrilled and we waited for this event for so long to happen. What about you, Zorica?
Hi everyone, thank you for inviting me for this show, and I think that this show is just the crown of our community work, and it proves how well connected we are and how great our community is. It is really nice because many people took part in this testing cup. Also, it is amazing that we have such great judges this time. They're going to make a really big difference in the judging and proving that our community is always progress.
Speaking about the judges, yes, we will have them judge directly after the testing will end for the testers. So at the very end of the show, we will crown the champions for the Testing Cup 2021. That is very awesome to hear. I introduced with a speech from one of the final battles of Lord of the Rings, because this Testing Cup 2021 is Lord of the Rings themed. Yuliya, how did you come up with this idea?
As being part of this community for not such a long time, I decided to take a closer look to our testers, to study their interests, to find out what is important for them, what movies they like. So me and Zorica had a wonderful survey, and it turned out that one of the most liked movies in the community was The Lord of the Rings. So we decided to devote this testing cup to this movie. And by the way, this movie turned 20 years in this year. So it's like our giving us an honor to this movie. So I think that we made our best to keep to this theme as much as we could. And moreover, some of our teams had nicknames and then names of the teams within this topic as well. So it was so exciting for me.
Yeah, we had some nice artwork themed after Lord of the Rings. And a lot of teams named themselves after Lord of the Rings. Can you tell us some highlights or some names of the teams? How did they decide to theme themselves?
Yes, we have 8 teams who started this noble journey. And some of them took a longer way, some of them a shorter way. But anyway, let me introduce some of them. We have a team Baggins, which is very closely connected to the Baggins from Berkshire. Sorry, it's a bit confusing. But as we all fight against bugs, so we're here. We have, it's a quite international team consisting from Nafisa and Farsana from India, Felipe from Brazil, Edwale Mohammed from Nigeria, and Zorica from Sri Lanka. Another team is not that connected with the theme, but they are totally Ukrainian team VS, very wonderful and strong team who took the 3rd place in our cup. And this team consists from Storm, Balak Sergey, Nikita Akan Nikoxio, Max Something on Fire, Alexander, and Konstantin Korbel, and Vyacheslav, well known as AV Master. Great team.
Speaking about this team, they made the 3rd place in the end, but before the cup started, everybody was afraid of them, and they were kind of the favorites to win this whole thing.
Yeah, sorry. I anticipated them to win as well. But you never know. The competition always has some tricky parts, some disguised things, and you can't predict what happens next. So our next team, 3rd team, is Eagle Wizards. So now we get closer to Wizardy team from our Lord of the Rings theme. It's mostly Albanian team. We have Sylvania, Denard, Radion, Clyde from Albania, and only Dirangu from Kenya. We also have a team of elves of Bagendal, which is also closely connected to our topic, and it's also a very international team of wonderful testers. Among them, Sanam from Turkey, Ezar and Aditya from India, David from Peru, Azul from Venezuela, and Prosper from Nigeria. Another team very closely connected to our theme is Council of Elrond. Yeah, the exact council where they decided what to do with the ring. So here we have wonderful testers from India, like Ritwik, uh, from Nigeria, like Moses and Mohammed and Ahmed, and Oliver from Philippines. Another team and is who's fighting right now at the finals is the team of White Council, consisting mostly of Indian testers and only one Ukrainian tester. It's Nikolai from Ukraine, obviously, Vaibhav, Vipul, Kapil, and Gardi from India. And the last team, I'm sorry, not the last. Oh, we have one team from EPAM as well. And so this team is Trilogy. And they are all from our different countries, from different locations from EPAM company. We have Viviana, Natalia, Arsen, Wang, another Natalia, and Ivan in this team. And the last but not the least team is our Golden Star Warriors coming from Vietnam. So here we have lots of beautiful testers, and I guess we will have short talk about our finalists.
Before we go to the finalist team, I also find the team of the test of the EPAM testers very interesting. So very interesting that they consist of 3 different nations. So they found each other and decided to join together. And they of course had the big challenge of just consisting of 3 testers, while other teams have 5 testers. And considering that, they did a pretty good job fighting their way through it. And they had a really good bug per tester ratio, if we want to count that. So we definitely hope to continue on that tradition, to invite more EPAM testers to join, for future cups have more EPAM testers.
Oh, sure. So I hope so as well, because I've talked to them and they are pretty interested in participating in further events that we will have. So we're all excited about it.
Yeah. Hi, Cruel Tester. Welcome.
Hey, Stefan. How are you?
Hi. Cruel Tester, give us some more minutes, then we will come to you. Cruel Tester is one of our team captains that participated in the previous rounds, not made it to the final, sadly, but the competition is just it's just super hard, and only 2 teams were able to make it to the final. So the 2 finalist teams are the Golden Star Warriors and the White Council. So the Golden Star Warriors, a team consisting only of Vietnamese testers, and the White Council mainly consisting of testers from India, and one tester additionally from Ukraine. And I had a talk with them before they started. I was curious how they found each other. So they found each other through Discord. That helped them finding the team. And I also wanted to know from the Ukrainian tester how the communication is going. And she said it's no problem at all, because they communicate in English. They're all pretty familiar in English. And I asked them how they prepare, and they said they want to prepare just with testing yesterday, and today they want to talk a bit about strategy. Maybe a bit of a surprise that they made it to the final, but all of them, including their team captain versus including all the other testers, pretty strong team.
Yeah, we had all strong teams, and it was like you never know who wins, and we were surprised every time when we saw the results, and we were not like surprised, but more we never knew who will go further because there's always some tension there. You can always make mistake within this intense sphere, and I'm sure that our testers did their best to go as further as they could.
What is more important in the case of this cup is that we build strong friendships among the testers in the teams.
Oh yeah, I think that our cup is pretty a good event for our testers to communicate with each other more. People start to support each other, and it was so nice to see their communication in Teams channels so that we created for them because it was like buzzing families talking about all this testing, all those strategies, and it was so heartwarming, and I'm proud of our community, and I would like to thank my team, especially for what we've done, and I think that it was a tremendous work. Special thanks to Zorica, who created almost all the visual parts of our beautifully presented rules, evaluation criteria, all those small pictures of teams forwarded to the another to the next step. I would also give special thanks to Charlie, who was the head of our judges, who helped me to set up all the tests. Sometimes he even taught me some new things, and I'm very, very grateful to both of you. Also, I'm grateful to Stefan, Markus, Evgenia, and all other our judges who helped me to create this wonderful event. So I'm super happy that we had it, and it helped us to unite our community.
Yeah, Yuliya, and yeah, I think the team is also very happy that you did such a good job in coordinating them, and yeah, you assembled really, really good, really talented, really motivated people around you to make this happen. Thanks, Yuliya. Cruel Tester, give us 5 more minutes, then we will come to you. Then I will also unmute you in Discord. So the testing right now is going on at this very moment. The testing will go on for 45 plus delay, more minutes. So we do stream with a bit of a delay today, so we can see some bug reports coming in live, so a 30-minute delay. That might also lead to some technical issues, so you might experience a lag, and we cannot fix it live since we are 30 minutes delayed, so you will also sadly not be able to reach out to us live in chat because of this streaming delay. So if you experience any technical issues, we do have a recording, and we do share all of this with you afterwards, so no worry, you won't miss anything. All right. Yeah. So what will be happening today? So at the very end, we will crown the champions. We will be joined by Charlie, who knows about the results, and then we'll have the results for us, and we will be able to crown the new champions for this year. And before that, I will be joined by Terry, one of our team leaders and precious community members, who will be commenting on the bug reports live with me. And then before, we will have a talk with Markus, our new head of Test.io community. I have some interview questions. I'm curious about Markus' thoughts and ideas for the community. And with Markus as well, I will look at the bug reports live. We will be at the customer interface and see the bug reports coming in live. And Markus and Terry, both really experienced team leaders, then can do have the technical background and the team leading background to assess those bug reports. And I'm super curious about that. And before that will start, we will have interviews with the team captains. and yeah, the team captains of the teams that have not made it to the final, because the other team captains, of course, they are busy now with testing and leading their teams. So yeah, let's directly start with you, Cruel Tester. What's your team's name? Can you remind us? And yeah, how was the cup for you so far?
Thanks, Stephen, for the question and inviting me for this interview. So I'm honored. So let me start with how our team performed. So in fact, we started, creating our strategies much before the testing cup started. Once we formed the team, and we started with how do we go about testing? What are the devices? We need to test. How do we cover all the topics and stuff like that? We had a plan and strategy, and then post that we decided who is going to test what features. If it is a website, what are the pain points and where we can find a lot of bugs. And normally we see that most of the testers focus on certain areas, right? There are good testers in our team, like Sucharita is one of the greatest member of the team, who had given some idea for where to find bugs and how to find bugs in what areas, right? Normally if you take a testing cycle, people flock to only major areas like search, cart and things like that, and some of the features people don't focus where we actually can go and find the bugs. So that is what we decided to do it. In fact, our team did a great job in the first round. If you can see that we had beaten some of the strongest teams, the Ukrainian team, as you talked about, Stephen, some time back. So that worked very well for us in the first round of team. So I was really happy with the performance of the team in the first round. So we were the second best team in the first round, and we moved on to second round, but unfortunately other team performed really well. We did first round very well, right? But second round there was some kind of confusion among the team, and we somehow lost the way forward. So that's where I think we lost few points and we could not make in the finals. But overall, yeah, we stood fourth across all the 8 teams, and I'm really happy as a captain, and the team is really good friends. We got to know how great testers test, what areas they focus, and where to find bugs and things like that. These are the learning lessons that we got in the testing cup.
Wow, such a long story. It was interesting to find out what
Hello.
that you've learned, and that you became really good friends.
Hello.
Do you hear us? I think there might be.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Do you hear us well?
Am I audible?
Thank you so much for your participation. It was very interesting feedback from you. We hope that you've learned a lot of new things during participating, and we're super happy that you've become real friends. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi. So it seems like we do have some technical issues, but let's...
Hello.
Hi. Wait. Yeah, Cruel Tester, I will mute you for a second. I would say let's continue with the other team captains. With Ivan the Great and Lyrics Trend. Yuliya, Zorica, I know that you have prepared some questions for those captains.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh yeah, we have questions, and I would like to start with Azar, aka Lyrics Trend, who is the captain of Elves of Bagendal. Oh, I love this name of the team. Elves are my favorite participants of the Lord of the Rings. So I have a question. How would you describe your participation in the testing cup? What have you learned from it?
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. And talking about our team, first of all, none of our team member was never experienced the testing cup. before. So it was a first time for all of our team members. So we were a little bit nervous about how it will go, and obviously because of the first time we were all obviously nervous. And in the first round, for the first round, we made the some strategies about what features to test by. We different we gave all the features to all the testers, uh, I will test this and other tester will test this, like that. And in the first round we did a very great job, but we did lots of mistake in the first round. We some of our tester didn't highlighted the some most IMP parts in the bug reports. So in the first round we did lots of mistake, and in the second round, we tried to not to repeat that mistakes. And in the second round we did lots of I would say that in second round we did the great job than the first round. So it so yeah, and uh, we got to know each other in a better way, as we may know that as you may know that our team was from different part of the world, like some so we did as a team we did a very great job, and it was a very good experience for all of us. And it would okay, thanks.
Oh, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I enjoyed watching you communicating and watching you making friends. It's so united moment for our community. I'm glad that you liked it. Another
Yeah.
guest we have is,
Sorry to interrupt.
yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
I just remembered last year's testing cup, and there we had a highly international team of 5 different nations winning the whole thing, and even reigning supreme above the all Ukrainian superstar team. So great that you participated with such an international team. It just shows how international the community is, and that communication and collaboration can work even if you have people from different countries participating in one team.
Oh, it's so true. Now I would like to give a word to another captain of Eagle Wizards, Denard. What did Cup bring to your skills and knowledge? Can you share some words?
Hello, thank you for inviting us. I would thank you for the Testing Cup competition because it was a great experience for me and for all the team members. I think it brought nice new skills and knowledge because we all learned that quality matters in the bug report. We also learned that in 2 hours, everyone can make a lot of work and a lot of money from Test.io. Yeah, it was a great experience, and I think all of our team members learned from the testing cup about the quality and the finding of the bugs. Yeah, we lost the first round because in our team in the first round were only 3 active members, me and two another members. And most of the team was inactive, so that brought the loss to us. But I made a lot of friends from Test.io, from Testing Cup, which is Redion, which I'd like to thank. He's a great tester and a great supporter for me. Also, another team member showed a lot of skills. His name is Zorica. And he showed a lot of skills, reporting 11 bugs. That was the biggest number of the bugs reported in testing cups. I am looking forward to meet my team members this summer. Most of them are from Albania, and I think it brought a new friendship from Albanian team. Most of the team used Android test. Android devices, but also we used iOS, so we can catch all the bugs, Android and iOS, because the bugs differ from the devices. So I think we were well organized, but yeah, we lost in the first round because of we were not active enough.
It's great that you mentioned that you built a strong friendship with team members. Tell me, would you like to join Test.io meetups in future, at least
yeah,
virtually?
of course. Yes, we are very social people, and we like to be friends with each other, mostly with members that are from Albania. So we meet in person, discuss about Test.io bugs. Me and Erdion are working currently on a project that we did together. And our first meet was from Test.io, let's say. So yeah, I think I'll be available for all the meetings with Test.io in the future.
Sounds good. Yeah, so far we had two in-person meetings. We had two events where we invited people. One was in Berlin, where the Test.io main office is, where Test.io was founded, and the other one was in Kiev, of course, because in Ukraine we have so many talented testers. And yeah, we were actually planning an event in Prague because it's quite central in Europe, but then the pandemic started, so we were not able to do it. And yeah, we do look forward to have more in-person live events in the future, to have more meetups. And yeah, it's great to hear that it did create friendships that go beyond testing, beyond the platform, or that it can start at Test.io.
Yeah.
Hi, Markus.
Hello, Markus.
Hi, Markus.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Yeah,
hello. How are you?
Can I thank our dear captains for their time taking? You joined our live event. It's so thrilling for me because when you come in contact, when you see your faces, when you see all those smiles and reactions, it makes so warm moment for us, and it's so priceless. I hope that you will join more events in future and definitely will stay with us as long as possible. Thank you again for participation and for finding a minute to join our event. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon in other events.
Yeah. Markus, by the way, I like your motorcycle.
Thank you, but you have not seen it yet, so maybe I will share a photo.
Just the model. Just the model.
Yeah.
Ducati, maybe.
Actually, nice to see. Yeah, actually, nice to see all your faces. First time I'm seeing, so it's really nice and feeling like a family now.
Oh, true.
We're a family. All the community is a family, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it should be, in my opinion. So we should be as close as possible.
Absolutely. And we made a lot of friends in our team, the Buggins team, and we decided that we'll stick to the same team even for the next 2022 Cup. So that is the closest that we have now.
Oh, wow. Great news.
What a beautiful story. Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks also from my side to Cruel Tester, Ivan, and Lyric Strand for joining us and for sharing some insights about how it went with their teams. And we do certainly hope you participate next year in the Testing Cup. And you are of course more than invited to join the live stream. It has a 30 minutes delay, as I explained before, so you can watch the interview with yourself, even on YouTube now live. Or semi-live. Thanks again for joining. I will now continue with Markus on taking a first look at the bug reports from the testers, and I'm really curious about those reports.
Sure. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
everyone.
Bye.
Markus, hi, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm very great and really love this whole cup and this opportunity for the two teams to compete against each other. So really looking forward to looking at the bug reports now with you guys.
Yeah, I do look forward as well. You know the URL. You need to access the bugs simultaneously to me. Then we can take a look. The first bug reports are already in. I think, how long did it take for the first bug report to be reported? It was about 5 minutes or so.
No, I guess it was 19 minutes this time.
Okay.
As our teams participating today, they have this strategy of not rushing. And one of the teams have submitted less bugs than any other team, and every time they got lots of points. So I think it's part of their strategy not to be in a rush.
Got it. Yeah. We definitely, and that's also the approach of the jury. They want to see quality over quantity. So the teams can use their full 2 hours of testing. It's not a lot, but it's sufficient that they don't need to submit the issues within 5 minutes. I will quickly introduce the website that we will be testing. I put it up on the stream. So the website is communityz.com. It is a wonderful community website made by EPAM, but it's available to public. So everybody can sign up there and can find different communities, and there are communities for all sorts of things. There are testing communities. There is this global testing community, which is awesome, and they regularly have events through this platform. There are this rolling scopes community is highly active. There are design communities, a lot of different technical communities, and this is the website that is under test today. We saw a lot of bug reports already, and let's take a look at them. Right now. Markus, which team should we start with?
I would say let's go with the White Council.
All right. White Council. All right. I have opened the customer interface. This is the test.io customer interface. And this is the overview of the past tests in this product. We do have only this test. I see. Wait, let me refresh the page. We might have already more in the meantime. We have 2 high bugs, 5 low bugs, and 1 visual bug.
Exactly. So quite a few results until now. Should we go and look into some of them, in your opinion?
Yeah, let's do that. With which one do we want to start? What do you suggest?
I'd say let's go with the very first one that they submitted. So the one that's called toggle button for online is not reachable as it is covered by a notification bell icon.
Okay.
So this bug was submitted by My Precious Diamond Ring.
Yeah.
Whereas the diamond ring is an emoji.
Right. So of course the testers use not their real nicknames to prevent the jury, so that the jury is neutral for them and does not have any past history with a tester. Let me put us to the bottom left. All right, Markus, you have worked for many, many years as a tester, but then quickly as a team leader. So the majority of the time at Test.io, you have been a team leader. What is your approach of reviewing bug reports? How would you approach this now?
So as a team leader, you of course try to work efficiently and try to get all the information needed to assess the bug report as soon as possible. So I look at the bug title and the screencasts as the first thing. If the bug title is concise and explanatory, that's perfect, and I get a very first good idea of what this bug is all about. And as you may know, I think it's written in the Academy, if the bug title is explanatory enough, then you already know all the most information you need to know to also differentiate it between this one and other bug reports in the test cycle. So this is actually one of the most critical things to do, writing a concise bug title. And this is very challenging sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
So writing and the screencast is also challenging, keeping it concise, keeping it short, only showing actions that matter and to not confuse the viewer. If you have a concise screencast and a concise bug title, those are the two pieces of information to grasp the idea of the bug and to be able to basically assess the type and the severity.
Yeah. Okay, so the title says toggle button for online is not reachable as it is covered by notification bell item. I like this title. It's concise. It's not overly long. I think I can imagine what is happening, but I of course, we do need to watch the screencast to get a full picture. Let's watch it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 8 seconds long. That shows that in case all information are in there, that's a pretty good time. So, yes. And something testers sometimes forget is you don't need to show all of the steps. What's important is to show the triggering action and to clearly state the result, to not prolong your screencast beyond the when the bug appeared, because then it's not clear, was the bug in between, is it towards the end? Viewers expect the bug to happen towards the end of the screencast. So, and that's what's happened here.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the screencast, you can clearly see the tester scrolls the page and even circles the problem. So this is a very clear screencast here.
I do agree, and this would usually be a blocking issue, could even be a high bug, or maybe not a critical, but a high bug. But I guess you can use the landscape mode to trigger this toggle button. There is a workaround. That's why it's just a low bug.
And it's not very clear if you are in need of this toggling option at all. So apparently you can still operate the site and do everything you want to do, even if you cannot turn it on and off. So that's what makes it what makes it a low functional bug and not a critical one, for example. So it's not a showstopper.
It is not. And you know what that bug reminds me about? That the chat button is not available with our intercom, with our support icon. That it's pretty similar to the bug we have on our testing platform. Yeah, and the workaround is the same, to use the landscape mode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it seems we are not the only ones with this issue. Yeah.
And one thing I particularly like about this report is that important information is being marked in bold font.
Yeah.
So I can highly recommend that. You do that by using Markdown in your report, and it's easier than you can imagine. If you want to learn how to do it, please go to our Academy, type in the word Markdown in one word, and then you will find the Academy article that will teach you everything that's needed. So short summary, you only need asterisks before and after the word to make it bold. And that way the reader will easily be able to identify the most important information in your report by they have to look at it once and see everything that's important at one glance. Highly recommended. And that's what differentiates, it's one thing that differentiates a good bug report and an excellent bug report.
Great. Okay. I think this issue is clear. So what's next? Let's look at some of the high bug. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely a good idea.
Okay, let's go to the very top. And after this bug report, we will go over to the Golden Star Warriors to look at their issues. Okay, the title here says, when clicking the website back button, different results appear as compared to clicking the browser's back button. Okay.
So looking at it for the first time, I can see there are more steps involved than for the previous one, which is typical if you're talking about a more complex bug here. Again, Markdown used to mark the most important the labels of buttons and the most important actions. But let's take a look at the screencast to get a real good idea of what this bug is all about. "24 seconds in total." Pretty fast, but not too fast to get the idea. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I need to watch it again, but maybe Markus, you can shed some light on it.
yeah, it's a typical problem when you use the website back button as it's connected to the history functionality by default, and sometimes the developers do not consider that people actually use the browser back button to navigate backwards. And so I think this is what this is about and what triggers the bug here. Of course, there is a workaround, which and it's not the most important functionality, which is why this is only a high functional bug. But I like it. The screencast is not too long, so a typical time for is somewhere between 15 and 20 seconds. So it's slightly longer, but it's still within the limits for sure. And high resolution, only the most important steps. I personally really like it.
Great. So explained in 8 steps. Yeah, I think the screencast length is necessary in this case. He needs to show the differences in both behaviors, so it needs to be that long. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's an important point that you're pointing out here. Sometimes you need to make that comparison of how it should work and how it actually works. So this is not necessary for many bugs, but for this particular one, it certainly is. To grasp the idea of the bug. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just refreshed the page and we climbed from 8 to 9 bugs. Let's take a look at what the Golden Star Warriors are doing right now. And yeah, so they have 15 bugs already. So I know that both teams wanted to test for quality over quantity. So it's not at all about the quantity of bugs. I think everybody that works in QA knows this, understands this. Yeah, it's a lot of customers are just looking for the most important issues, for those critical issues, for those high issues, and yeah, it's important that the most important issues are found by testers. All right. Where do we want to start with? Markus,
maybe let's look at high bugs immediately. I think they're pretty interesting. So one of them is called "User is not able to select social buttons at the footer since the page scrolls up every time user scrolls down." And when you take a look at it, one thing that stands out is this horizontal line, and it is also something you can do when you use Markdown. It helps to get a better structure of information to really differentiate between different parts of here the actual results. So this can be really useful. And again, Markdown was also used in step number 2 to see what the tester really tapped on, so the button label. I like that.
I do agree. This line here to split up the both components of actual results, and what I find really interesting is that this tester added some extra information with this note below here. The bug happens in both landscape and portrait mode. That's perfect. When you see something like this, it's really helpful for the customer to understand directly what it's about. All right. Let's look at a screencast. So
yeah, pretty concise, 14 seconds. And the bug appears already in second 3 and 4, so that's clear as well. He repeats it a couple of times. Repeating the bug is not recommended in all cases, but here he can make it visible immediately, so I think that's perfectly fine. He points out that he can not under any circumstances try to get access to these social buttons, and therefore that's a justified high bug because you cannot use the social buttons to access information.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bug report. It was found on an Apple iPad Mini 2019, so pretty new device, but yeah, we often do notice that websites are not optimized for tablets. And yeah, it would be kind of okay if it just occurs in portrait or landscape mode, then you have this workaround, but the tester added this note here that it happens on both landscape and portrait mode.
Yeah, so let's look at another high bug of that team, which is called, wait, where did it go? The user can access the private information with back button after logging out. And when I read this title, I immediately knew what it was about. It is one of the cases on the bug assessment sheet. So we have a fixed severity for this one, and since it is about private and sensitive information, this is an important bug report. So well done to identify this one. Okay, I think many people will be familiar with the concept of this bug, so let's take a look at the screencast straight away. This time it's 39 seconds long, but for this type of bug, it is pretty necessary, I would say, because you have to show the login and the logout action, then going backwards in the history time to show that this information is accessible.
So the tester now logged in and is showing the personal information, and now he or she is logging out and pressing the browser back button, and this personal information is visible. Yeah, like you said, this bug report, this issue is available in our bug assessment sheet. So that is a sheet where we classify bugs, where we say, okay, we classify certain issues as in this case, high bug, so that we have some sort of standardization. I think for this very issue, the customer has to decide how important it is for them. I see it as potentially critical if someone is using a computer in an internet cafe, for example, and then logging out of his Facebook account, for example, and then the next user is hopping on that PC and using the browser back button. That would be very serious.
I fully agree. Okay.
Do you have enough technical background that you can say that is there a way to prevent this when you create a website?
Absolutely. So the behavior of the browser back button can be changed by the developer. And this not only goes for this kind of case where personal information is disclosed, but for all kinds of situations where you go back to the previous page and you want to see the current state of the page and not the state that the page was in when you left it. So it is a very common case, but especially sensitive when it's about data, as you all know. So it's probably something that the developer simply did not consider, and what we should make them aware of.
Right, I just refreshed the page, so it's 16 bucks for the golden star warriors, and I will also refresh the page for the White Council, 11 bucks there. We do have 8 more minutes for testers to test. Let's see how much more will come in. Markus, let's pause for a moment the review on the reports. We'll also have Terry soon to join us for this. Markus, so maybe not everyone is familiar yet with this situation, but you will be stepping into my shoes as community manager and as leader of this community and a community team. In fact, I will have my last week next week, and then you will continue, and we are already in the middle of onboarding and are in a good state. Will there also be community events? Will there also be a testing cup with you as community manager, Markus?
Absolutely, and I think we see it this year with this year's cup and also the cup from last year. It's an exciting opportunity for testers to engage in our community, and so there's absolutely need of such events. And together with Yuliya and the rest of the community team, we want to extend the number of such events to really get in touch with all of you, or the ones who would like to be more engaged in the community. We are all aware that it's sometimes maybe a bit lonely working from your own computer at home and not being able to go to an office. But we want to change that and want to give you a good feeling of being part of this company, being part of this crowd, being in touch with other testers and the staff, like the community team.
Great. Yeah, so, Markus, your story with Test.io started in 2012. That is correct, right? You started as a tester and then became a team leader. So yeah, you have been with us for so many years. You have worked with Anjo, who was community manager before. Then you have worked even closer with me, I would say. And yeah, you have built the support infrastructure. You have built large parts of the academy. You were responsible for a long time for the education of team leaders and and all of this. I'm curious. 2012. How was the platform back then? Was it already a platform, or how did it look?
That's a very interesting question, indeed. So I think, first of all, I need to tell you that this company was not always called Test.io, and the people who have been with us for a long time probably remember that. So we started out as Test Cloud and the corporate design logo had actually a cloud in it, which is no longer the case. That changed years later when we expanded to the United States. And it was a strange feeling, having worked at Test Cloud only, and then now it's reaffirmed to Test.io. But I think it's one of the things that it's important to mention when we talk about Test.io or Test Cloud in 2012. But regarding the platform in general, you probably know that the usability suggestion form only has one field. And so shortly before I joined as a tester, this was actually also the case for the regular bug report form. And that's probably nothing anybody ever remembers, but one field, of course, does not work for a large form like the bug report form. So this was the case in the early stages of Test Cloud and was quickly fixed or extended. Back then, we also only had German customers and only German TLs, which doesn't mean we only offered test cycles with the German bug report language. This was not the case. So even back then, some German customers also wanted English bug reports. But we had not yet expanded to the US and did not have international customers back then. Within the crowd was, of course, much smaller. So to some degree, it was easier, I would say. But because whenever you scale a company, whenever you scale a community, there are certain problems that only arise later. Among the good things that, of course, such a growth has, but so many challenges only came along when the company and the community grew.
And that transition from being such a German company with German team leaders, only German team leaders, and we do still have a lot of those German team leaders in our team leader team, of course, but that transition from being such a German company to such an international company and such an international community, that I think is really interesting and exciting. Markus, I know that you are and were always super passionate about the education of testers. You did spend a lot of time to refine the academy, to record videos together with us, to provide a good onboarding and training for our team leaders. I do not know why is that. Why are you so passionate about the education of our people? Yeah, tell me about this.
Yeah, so I think it all comes down to my passion for teaching in general. I am not a teacher, obviously, but it has always been one of my skills, I would say. Many people have told me that before. And I looked at the company, at the academy that we had back then. We did have an academy, but it only consisted of a few pages, and information was not very structured. The amount of information was pretty little back then. And while I did not have a lot of problems when I joined as a tester, I could see that other testers were struggling sometimes. And I wanted to change that. I saw a problem and tried to fix it. So I did get involved with Anjo back then, and made a lot of suggestions to improve it. And eventually he gave me the responsibility to take on this task. So that's where it all started, I would say.
Nice. Yeah. And I know for sure that you will continue on that tradition of providing a good education for our people. And yeah, the rest of the team, Evgenia, we all know she's super passionate about this well, creating the courses in the, directly in the tester interface. And I think this needs to continue. And this is the vision that you have. And that is also true together with EPAM, and seeing that we have so many great stories of testers that came to us and have not been testers back then, just coming maybe from a technical field or maybe from a completely different background, and then learning everything they know now on Test.io, and getting taught by the team leaders and studying our material, having these success stories, and is just awesome to have. And we do have also those stories where people then in the end found a professional QA job, whether it be in EPAM or at another company. And of course, we would like to keep our people forever, especially the good ones. But having those stories, having those success stories where we educated people so well that they made it into a professional job, I think this is very inspiring to have.
Yeah, and I definitely want to continue this journey and further educate people to get such chances and to get a good paid job in the industry that they would like to work in. And as you said, many people that have joined our community up to this point have not considered this kind of opportunity before, or this kind of industry before. They were usually working in different fields before they joined. So I think that's very exciting to see. And that's why we need kind of an education for people that come from different industries, as they have zero to or little knowledge, at least in software testing. And that's why we need a good education to get them ready and up to speed.
Yeah, fully agree. And really happy that you continue there. It's awesome to hear. All right, I would say let's. I will invite Terry to join us in a few moments. And Markus, you are. Please stay with us for some more reviews of the bug reports. But you're also part of the jury today, so you will be busy reviewing the issues as well. The testing officially stopped now for testers. It's without delay. It's 5 p.m. for us. So the teams have finished their testing now. One last question for you, Markus. Markus, you said that you said in a comment in the tester newsletter that you aim to become the best testing platform out there. Can you tell us more about that vision? What are some near future goals? What are some more far in the future? Maybe how do you aim to achieve that?
Absolutely. So when I think about the best platform or the best employer possible, then I think about a company that everyone likes to work in and work at. And so we are obviously not the only crowd testing platform out there, but I would like to see that we are the platform that people choose intentionally because we have the best working conditions, we have the best crowd, of course. And so that's definitely something I and the team can change and can achieve. So we're not quite there, I would say, but we are working very hard to make that happen. Also, we are not yet present in many countries, so that's definitely something we want to work on and improve. So we want to spread the word in other countries and grow communities there, countries we have not considered yet. Countries where we don't have customers yet, but maybe in the future. So that's a very exciting but also challenging task that I want to take on.
Yeah.
And additionally, I would say, as my last point, a lot of people still don't know about Test.io. So when you mention it to friends or other colleagues in different, or maybe even in the same industry, but they have never heard about Test.io. And I want to change that. I want to see that Test.io is spread in the circle of friends and people recognize the company because it's well known also for the good thing that it brings along. So that's definitely something I want to achieve with this.
Nice. And I do look forward to this, and I will definitely watch your steps as a community member, as a tester. And of course, Markus, we became friends throughout this whole journey. So yeah, I will also regularly send you text messages to check in on the progress.
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, Markus, before we let you go, you have an important to-do in the jury. Let's look at the completed test cycles together with Terry, who joined us. Hi, Terry. How are you today?
Hello, everyone.
It's quite early for you in San Francisco. We are very appreciative about this, that you join us in this very early morning. So yeah, great to have you.
Well, thanks for the welcome. And one of the consequences of early morning activity is nothing works as you intended. So my green screen is au naturel at the moment.
Yeah, so you're about to have a fully professional streaming setup, but it already looks quite good. So you have that, you have a nice angle on the camera. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
You didn't see all the frantic arm waving in the background while I was waiting to come on, but.
All right. Terry, you also have access to the customer interface where the testers now have finished their testing. I look at the overview of the Golden Star Warriors right now. So they have submitted 3 high bugs, 15 low bugs, quite a big number, 2 visual bugs and 1 content bug. And the White Council, they have submitted 2 high bugs, 7 low bugs, 1 visual and 1 content bug. So yeah, looks quite comparable. A lot of low bugs from the Vietnamese team, from the Golden Star Warriors. But yeah, the jury will also decide on quality over quantity. So the numbers are not yet the deciding factor. All right. I will take a closer look together with Terry. Markus, thanks for joining us. And how will you approach, as a last statement maybe, how will you approach the work in the jury now, Markus?
Yeah, so I will go through every single bug report and look at the value of each and every bug to see if they found the same bugs or similar ones or very different ones. Indeed, Also, quality is, of course, very important. I will look at the documentation and see if all the standards have been fulfilled. So those will definitely be the key factors for me here.
Nice. Okay, then, yeah, Markus, thanks for joining us. And yeah, best of luck in the jury. And yeah, all the best for you as the new head of this community.
Thank you so much, Stefan. And let's talk later.
Yeah, see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Terry, let's start right away. Let's look at some of the bug reports. Terry, you are not only team leader, you are a community member, you are involved in so many activities at Test.io in the meantime. Yeah, can you tell us more about those activities you're involved with?
Okay, so in addition to my team leading duties, I'm also a member of the community educators group, and in that we do training videos and other types of video presentations to help new and experienced people get up to speed with what Test.io does. This was very challenging for me as I've never done video production. So I spent a lot of time learning how to walk, but I find it very rewarding. The other thing that I do as a primary function is I manage the test workflow. That is, we have quite a few tests, and sometimes tests don't have team leaders. And so part of my job is to go out and find people to help lead a particular test. In addition, I've worked with CSMs to write test instructions, come up with testing strategies. I typically will review a lot of the materials that are presented to the customer to make sure that they're readily understandable. I've also been involved in quite a few special projects. We had tests that we did for Roku when they were launching a new device, and I led that effort. In addition, I was responsible for being an interface between Roku and the testers. And in general, I've had a role of being, as I've had more than 20 years of experience, the wise old head who is able to, I think, offer sage advice to others. But in general, my primary role is working as a TL and producing videos and helping to manage the work of the team leads.
Yeah, thanks for that overview. And yeah, I hope our or your story with Test.io together will continue. And yeah, it's no secret that we also became friends throughout working together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my next travel to the US, and then we hopefully find the time to meet there.
You should happen to make your way out to the Bay Area. There are quite a few places that I would show you, and there's lots of activities out here. That's one of the great things about living out here. So yes, I look forward to future engagements, and we'll miss our day-to-day back and forth and, dare I say it, witty repartee.
Yeah. Let's we'll definitely stay in touch, and then it's not a goodbye, so instead it's a see you soon. Yeah. All right. Let's look at the bug reports from the two teams while the jury is working. I would say let's look at the Golden Star Warriors first. I looked at some bug reports with Markus already. Let's look at some new ones. Let's start with the high bugs. Okay, so we have looked at this user is not able to select social buttons at the footer since the page scrolls up every time user scrolls down. We have already looked at this together with Markus. Let's look at page has expired message appears when user tap sign in with Apple the second time. Do you have the bug report open? I'm
reviewing the steps to reproduce the bug now.
Mm-hmm. So what's your approach when you review bug reports? What do you
So-
look at first?
Well, so the first thing I start with are the basic style and other guides that Test.io suggests. So, for instance, how clear is the bug title? Does it give the reader an idea of what's going on with the particular bug? The next thing I will do is review the steps to reproduce to see if they make sense to me. And then I will proceed to review the results, both expected and actual. And then finally, I play the video.
Oh, wow.
This is at variance with what some other TLs do. I want to make sure that my opinion of how well written the bug is not influenced by what I see in the video. As an experienced tester, I know that sometimes you can ignore things that are really obvious if you are in agreement with what's being said. So if I look at the video and it shows things that aren't necessarily captured in the steps to reproduce, I will generally inform the tester that they've left out steps. And so I want to make sure that in reading the steps to reproduce, I understand how they got to the place where the bug happened. And then I'll review the video to make sure that the two are in alignment.
Interesting. So yeah, I would certainly do it differently. I usually I'm super impatient to click the video to play it, but I think it's a valid approach to look at the steps, actual results first, and then go to the screencast.
Well, once again, the reason why I do that is I want to make sure that the customer who ultimately has to deal with the bug report can read through the bug report and make sense of it. Mm-hmm. If I ignore that and only rely on the video, sometimes I know from my experience, you don't have access to attachments. And so therefore, the only thing you have is what's written. Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't make any sense, that's a real problem.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's look at the screencast now. So the tester is trying to sign in with Apple. And then canceling this and trying it again, and then this page, this error shows up.
Huh. That is indeed interesting. So I guess my understanding of this particular product, I don't understand why there would necessarily be a timing dependent relationship between when you press the button to sign in and what happens thereafter. So once again, when I am TLing a project, what I would do with this is I would actually go through and try the steps as listed to see, what could be left out that would offer an explanation as to why the particular behavior manifested. Just looking at this seems like, to me, it's a bug in the software. But once again, that's just my initial viewing of the bug.
Yeah, I must say it's a bit edge casey, or feels a bit forced to press that login with Apple and then cancel it. So
try it again. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
but the only thing I would point out to you is that it may be forced in a sense, but oftentimes in the real world, people do click on things inadvertently. And then realize, oh, that is what I wanted to do, and then they'll press it again. So I think, even though it could be construed to be an edge case, it is something that I think would occur in real life. And so I would make a distinction between this and the truly forced bug where someone is pressing the OK button 500 times, and then on the 501st time it fails. Okay, that's forced.
Yeah.
This could actually see happening.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's a disappointing experience for the user, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
So the third high bug that we see here is it's called the user can access the private information. Oh, Terry, I have some echo from your side. Maybe I'm speaking too loud. No, it's good again. So this next high bug
It's my
is
heavy breathing.
the next bug is called the user can access the private information with back button after logging out. We have watched at that issue together with Markus. I think it might have been from the other team. So let's look at the other product or at the other team, the White Council.
Mm-hmm.
Through the product tab, you can navigate to the other.
I already have a separate tab for them. I'm looking at it now.
Nice. Okay. So we looked at this one high bug. When clicking the website back button, different results appear, but we have not looked at this language filter bug.
I have a question, and perhaps this is out of bounds, but in general, I know that with hyper or HTML, the back button is always problematical because the semantics of what to do it varies by how the developer thinks of what should happen. And so there's never, in my opinion, consistent behavior when the back button is pressed. And a lot of software that I've worked with that in development, we don't allow people to press the back button. The back button is grayed out. So once again, I find it curious that it's available here. And once again, it can produce interesting results.
Interesting. Yeah. So, interesting debate if websites should even allow this back button, and I do also see a lot of issues with this back button.
And not to get too wonky, but that's because, as you probably know, HTML is stateless, so it doesn't remember what happened in the previous state unless the developer takes action to preserve that. And as I said, your results may vary. So in general, I've seen that the back button is grayed out on a lot of websites because they don't want you to do that.
Mm-hmm. I see. Interesting. Yeah, we'll observe that more often in the future. I was not aware that the back button sometimes is grayed out or not available sometimes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's because, frankly, the developer doesn't want to have to preserve the state of the previous situation. So, but you wanted to talk about the second high bug, the language filter.
Language filters not working correctly as Russian language results are displayed, even though English language filter was applied. So I'm curious if that. So there is a lot of. So this is the website again, communityz.com. A lot of interesting communities open for EPAMers and non-EPAMers, so open to public. Of course, they have a lot of Russian communities there as well. But the majority, I think, of communities there is English. So curious if this is intended behavior or not. So reading the actual result and the expected result.
If it's the intended behavior, then I would consider this a usability bug, because I would expect filters to apply to the software, to the page, and it would be invariant regardless of what particular page or area of the site you're on. So I would think of this as a bug, and if it's intended behavior, I would think of that as an odd design choice.
I'm looking at the screencast right now. So it's in the articles tab, and then a filter for sorting is applied, and the English filter is still activated. But there are clearly a lot of Russian articles showing up.
Yes. I'm looking at that now too.
What is interesting, though, at the very end of the screencast, you can see that you can, when reviewing this article, you can then change to the English language in this article. So it seems that the article is available in English, but the filtering did not really work in this case.
Yes.
So I would say it's a real bug. It's not just usability.
No, I agree. But when I said usability, it was in the context of you're saying that they deliberately made it behave this way, which to me would be odd. But I do agree that this is a genuine bug. In particular, since you selected the English filter, and it seems to be what's highlighted, but what's displayed is still in Russian.
Yeah, that might
So I think this is a good bug.
Yeah, and there is a comment from another tester mentioning that it's reproducible on Windows 10 Chrome, iPhone 7 Safari. Yeah, I would say, of course, it's reproducible because it's a filter issue, so that should behave the same on all devices. But yeah, good additional information, and I also like the formatting in this bug report. So yeah, and the title is clear. So yeah, I like it. Title is a bit long though, but yeah, I think it's clear.
I would be curious, especially if the person is not a native English speaker, of how they would shorten this. I mean, I'm looking at this too, and I can see your point that it's long, but I don't think it's contains a lot of superfluous information. I think it does demonstrate some concision, but if you're not a native English speaker, it might be tough to make this even more concise.
Yeah, and a lot of our members in the community are not native speakers. Neither am I, so it's quite hard to write even more concise titles. And
I would hate to be responsible for writing German bug titles with concision. I mean, at the risk of being stereotypical, is such a thing possible?
Actually, German is a very descriptive language, so it's not too bad. So the language itself does work well for writing bug reports. Yeah.
And not to go off on too big of a tangent, but I appreciate the straightforwardness of the German language.
Yes.
My point is that in being straightforward, you can be wordy. And so in order to be someone with concision, you have to use words that are very semantically impacted, i.e., where there's lots of meaning contained in few words. And once again, if that's not your native tongue, that's very difficult to do. But I would point out, even though it is perhaps longer than desired, it is clear from the bug title what's happening. So I think kudos for that.
Yeah. All right. So we are waiting for the jury results. It should be, they should join us and announce the winning team in about 5 or 10 minutes tops. We have some more time, Terry. Let's look at the content bug, because we have not yet looked at a content bug. An empty black rectangle is shown under podcast tab in Data Zen Community Products Detail page.
And this is for the White Council or the Golden State?
We're still at White Council.
Okay. I need to get rid of my video. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at the bug in question.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
No. It is very zen, though. So, maybe that works.
A very zen rectangle, yeah. But it's not very podcasty, though.
Well, Once again, maybe it's for the meditative type who wants to sit and ponder the void. But aside from humor, this is, I would argue, a classic content bug in the sense that, there's a big gaping hole where something's supposed to be.
Yeah, so pretty straightforward bug. We can also see here there is no screencast as content bugs require just screenshots on the test.io documentation rules. So but it's pretty clear from the screenshot. Yeah.
Okay, so if the previous title lacked concision, what do you think of this title? It's very descriptive, but I would argue that it is long and perhaps could be shortened.
Yeah, so you don't need the article in the beginning. Empty black rectangle is, you can also remove that. Empty black rectangle shown under or in podcast tab. Maybe that's already sufficient. And the second part. Yeah.
To your point, you can maybe remove a few things, but it's hard otherwise to describe the bug. And I would point out to you that maybe in the case where the only artifact is just an image, a more wordy title might be appropriate, because unlike with the video where you can go through the process and get a feel for what the bug is, they have to offer a lot of information to show you how they arrived at the particular point where the black rectangle comes up. And if you just said a black rectangle is produced when clicking on a podcast tab, that might be too vague for some. So I'm arguing against my initial point in that I think that if you are operating in an environment where you don't have the full breadth of a video that can be presented, a more wordy title gives the reader a better chance of understanding of what's going on. But in this particular case, this is pretty straightforward. So I'm of two minds.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch back to the Golden Star Warriors. How about that? And let's look at some of their content and maybe some visual bugs. We have not yet seen any visual bugs so far.
And as far as I can tell, they only have one content bug.
They have one content bug, so they have not found the issue about the podcast tab. To their excuse, it's only 2 hours of testing, and you want to document as much as possible.
True.
Their content bug was not found by the other team, though. So the content in our activities is Russian languages.
And I presume it should have been English, which is, let's see what they say. Yes.
Yeah, so it's the overview page. So the first tab is in English, and then in our activities, it's the activities are displayed in Russian.
So I have a question. Shouldn't both teams have found this one? This seems like a pretty high level.
Yeah. I guess so, but yeah, like I just said, 2 hours of testing, and and just 5 team members each team, so there's a lot to find. It's a quite comprehensive site with login, with a lot of content pages, with a lot of different communities that you can join. But yeah, I do agree. Both teams had the chance of finding this.
Yeah, and to your point, also with such a short period of time, the question becomes, when you see something that looks odd, how much time do you spend investigating it to determine if it's a real bug or not? And so with only 2 hours, you're really doing quick stuff to just get through the testing of the app as quickly as possible. So some of the more subtle things or things that take lots of clicks may not be readily detected in 2 hours.
Yeah, good point. And the tester also took good care about highlighting the area which is not translated in red here. So that all takes time, and formatting the bug report, submitting it. Yeah.
And provided there are no technical difficulties. But I agree that I think this bug is well laid out. I'd like the presentation of the attachments. I think it's pretty clear the actual and expected results are well stated. And in general, I think as far as content bugs go, this is a bug is well done. And despite, and returning to our previous topic, it's a great title.
Yeah. Well, okay. The grammar, they should have been the content in our activities is in Russian language. Is in Russian. But that's fine. It's understandable.
But as someone who frequently works on Twitter and other social media, one of the downsides of that is a lot of syntax and commonly understood ways of writing have been altered. So I think, granted, this could have been better with the insertion of the preposition, but I still think it's clear from the title what's going on.
Nice. Yeah. Would be curious though if it's a real bug, or if it's maybe intended because the majority of this community is Russian, or they just post their activities in this tab in Russian. So yeah, would be curious if there is even a English version available of those activities. They might just fill their content with Russian. So it's kind of intended. It's not pretty though. But yeah, at least as a product manager, I would like to have a look at this one. Mentioning product manager and coming back to this community Z page, overall, I must say, not the most thrilling bugs. So this seems to be a working website. We have, those are really the best testers we have in our community, really capable testers with not a lot of time though, but and they found issues, but no critical ones, no really breaking things. So community C seems to be a solid website. It's developed in Ruby on Rails, and I want to shout out their product manager Sergey, who I told about our crazy idea, and of course he had never heard of the Test.io testing cup before, but I explained this concept in short, and he was immediately he said immediately yes, and said, okay, yeah, you can use community Z for the final of your testing cup. He was he was super supportive, and just a great person and a great personality, and so another reason why I would like to promote this platform, this community C platform, where everybody can sign up. You can create an account and join those communities. There are communities about testing, this global testing community, where one of the community managers is Josef, a good a colleague from Hungary, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot more technical communities. All right.
In general, I'm impressed with the level of outreach and other activities that we offer in terms of trying to build community. And I think that's very important. That's why I joined the community educators group. Being a crowd-based tester can be somewhat isolating, and you can feel not part of an overall team. And so it's really good, the things that Test.io does to bind us together as a community. So I, too, salute the community page. I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, thanks. And you have not heard Markus before, but it's pretty identical with what he said, and I do fully agree with both of you. Like, and we the Test.io core employees, they are also experiencing this, because it has been so much working from home for us for more than a year, and we also notice that with this community events and community building becomes more and more important. And we have much more empathy for our community, for our freelancers now with this, because you are working from home. You don't see your colleagues daily in the office, and with all the benefits this has as well, but it has also a lot of downsides. And then events like this just bring people together, and eventually you can then of course meet in real life, but being able to connect to people online is very good thing.
Compliment to you and Eugenia for getting together the Discord community. I have become more and more attached to that as I read through the comments and get a sense for who our testers are, and experience some of their wry sense of humor. I love some of the activities that people engage in and so forth. So once again, kudos to you, because I think this is, once again, one of the things that helps to bind us together as a community.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Thank you for the nice words. You are not only appreciative about the work what you do, but you're completely involved now, and there is no return for you, Terry. And
certified, bam.
So thanks for the kind words, and hope we can continue this with you.
Just to continue on that point. So one thing that's curious is how I came to be at Test.io. And, you probably are aware of this, but in 2009, the U.S. suffered what we call the Great Recession. As a consequence, a lot of organizations have always seen QA basically as a cost, decided to go with the pure project model, where you take one QA person, stick them in a team, have them be responsible for all the bugs that are found, et cetera, et cetera. And essentially QA was treated as a cost, and do everything you can to lower the cost of QA. So the reason why I was interested in Test.io is because I see crowd-based testing as one of the future vectors for QA as a profession. Because once again, if you're a product manager, your whole idea is to reduce costs. And what crowdsourced or exploratory testing offers are a fresh set of eyes that, as I was saying before, you can become used to certain bugs. Well, not if you're a crowdsourced testing organization, because you always have different people contributing to looking at the product, and so they always are struck by the bugs that people become used to, and in general help to overcome a lot of the blind spots that in-house development typically will produce. So in hearing about that from my friend Phil, I decided I wanted to check it out, and the company has exceeded my expectations, in the sense that as I've worked here, I've seen how Test.io has become increasingly more valuable to our customers. And indeed, the last comment I'll make about this was manifest during the height of the pandemic, when I saw, especially as someone who manages the testing queue, that we consistently had large volumes of customers. And you don't do that unless A, you're producing work that's meaningful to customers, and B, producing results that customers are happy with. So in short, I think that crowdsourced testing is one of the futures of quality assurance. And I love that it takes a fresh approach to doing that job.
Thanks for that pitch on crowd testing. And you mentioned this more often that you really see this as effective way of doing QA, and awesome that you are such a supporter of it. I just was communicating with the jury. They need some more time. So in about 10 minutes or so, we will have the results. We will know who will be the champions of the Testing Cup 2021. I'm really excited.
They have a rooting interest. Being from the Bay Area, I'm partial to the Golden Star Warriors. So
you mentioned it because their name is similar to the Golden State Warriors. It's a sports team. What kind of sports again?
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say that, but I'm not willing to do any mistakes here on live stream. So basketball. It's a San Francisco basketball team. It's the basketball team of San Francisco.
Could you repeat that, please?
It's the basketball team of San Francisco.
The Golden State Warriors, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Now I get. Now I have the full picture. Yeah, I have been one time to this beautiful city.
You may not be aware of this, but California's nickname is the Golden State, and so by definition, that is essentially saying the California Warriors.
I see.
But I digress.
Hi, Yuliya. You joined us again.
Hi. Yes, I'm excited and waiting for the results, and it's so nervous a bit. I can just simply imagine how hard it is for our juries, for our teams to wait for the results to happen and to be announced.
Yeah, it's so really a heart-beating final, and a lot of bugs for the jury to go through, to review, to then put their rating on it. So that is definitely a challenge. Terry, I would like to take a look at two more, or at least at one visual bug that we see from the Golden Star Warriors. Are you still in the test?
Yeah.
Then we could look at the filter pop-up is cut off from the right screen. Okay, the filter pop-up is cut off from the right of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the second screenshot is just for documentation, the current date and time. That's according to the test.io rules. So the first screenshot is important, and in fact, it's cut off on the right side. It's not pretty. It's not breaking, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On an Android phone, Oppo A9 2020. So it's a pretty new device. Maybe with a bit of an odd screen size, but nothing too small in my opinion. So not pretty definitely. And you can barely see the X button on the bottom right.
As far as visual bugs go, I think this is a very good one. And I can see why it is very striking and would frankly be noticed by any end user who was using this website.
Yeah, interesting one, definitely. No markdown in the steps or actual expected results, but that's fine. It's a short bug report. The title is also good.
I'm going to be a nitpicker on this, but
okay.
I stay away from trying to describe how a user would feel about something since I have no idea. And so this says it would make the user feel uncomfortable. Well, perhaps, or ticked, or any number of other emotions. So a minor nit. I'm just saying that in general, I try not to guess at what the user would feel about something. I just try to point out that it doesn't work. And, users will take from that what they will.
let's look at the other visual bug that this team, the Golden Star Warriors, have submitted. The team from Vietnam, who is competing today against the team from mainly India with one Ukrainian tester together with them. So if you are from Ukraine, you're probably cheering for the White Council and or Ukraine or India. The other Ukrainian all-star team made the third place and sadly made it not to the final. But from all of those countries we do have fantastic testers, so third place is not bad at all. Okay, this visual bug has the title: "The color of the hamburger menu icon is not displayed correctly on Samsung web browser." So I underestimated the Samsung browser in the beginning, but it's quite popular. It has a lot of users. Okay, let's look at the screenshots. I need to read the title again. "The color of the hamburger menu icon is not displayed correctly on Samsung web browser."
Oh, I see. It's on the last one here.
Okay, so yeah, the last one is for comparison, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's
good that they use different browsers too, because that would have been my first question. How do we know this is limited to just Samsung, its browser?
Very interesting, though. It also seems to be the dark mode.
Ah, good point.
Actual result: the hamburger menu icon has 2 gray lines and 1 white line on the Samsung web browser mobile. Hamburger menu icon has 3 white lines and a Firefox Chrome web browser mobile. Okay, yeah, interesting difference. I have no explanation at all where this difference comes from.
Also, I would compliment the testers for finding this. Remember when I was saying when you work in software development, some bugs you just become inured to, you just ignore. This is the type of bug that would be ignored. You get used to the hamburger menu being whatever the hamburger menu is. You develop a blind spot. So this is actually a good catch of a visual bug.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of bug that would probably maybe be discovered by a new tester towards the end of the test, because all of the people who worked on the project from the beginning go, well, yeah, we know it does that. which is not the same thing as we will fix the bug.
Like I said before, the product manager probably wants to take a look at this and then triage, and that's what the triage is for, and then make the decision upon their capacity and priority list if they want to fix this or not. Yeah.
And to your point, it may be a low priority fix because aside from perhaps ugliness, it doesn't really affect functionality. But once again, I think it's a good catch of a visual bug because it is the type of bug that is typically ignored or literally overlooked.
All right. Jury is still working in the background. We give them more time. It's not easy at all, this decision, but soon we will know who will reign supreme on this Testing Cup 21. We also have usability suggestions in both of the tests, and I would say let's use the rest of the time to look at those because of they have been submitted as low functional bugs because of the situation of the test setup. We do have 2 UX suggestions in for the Golden Star Warriors, and 5 even for the White Council. Let's look at the 2 from the Golden Star Warriors first.
Okay.
First one says, make filter bar sticky when user scrolls down the community petting, current situation, suggestion, and benefit. I will look at the screencast. Yeah, so the filter bar could be and that is the suggestion that could be sticky. So that's part of the top navigation maybe. So you can filter it. Yeah, if there is enough room, if there is enough space on the screen, then yeah, I would be okay with that change.
I concur.
Okay, yeah, well explained. Let's look at the other usability suggestion from the I was about to say Golden State Warriors, the Golden Star Warriors.
I'm sorry for planting the seed, but that happens to me every time.
All right, and you told me before that you are cheering for this team because the familiarity of the name.
Great name.
Yeah, I guess Magic Wand, the team captain, and the rest of the team will be very happy about this. Okay, usability suggestion. Focus the subcategory when user expands the main category. Let me look at the screencast.
It's a very good point. Why? So it's just off screen. Because I was going to say they have the chevron indicating that, there's sub content, but it's not readily visible.
Focus the subcategory when user expands the main category. Okay.
So I think what this is saying is that when you press the chevron, you should move up the parent so that the subcategories are fully displayed. I could understand why that wouldn't happen from a developer's point of view. That's probably very difficult to implement.
Yeah, right. It should directly jump to that subcategory. I agree.
That focus, yes. Yeah. Once again, as someone who is a veteran of the development wars, I understand and agree with the spirit of the usability suggestion. However, as you pointed out before, any code change has a price and can have side effects. So I would think that this is the type of bug that would be deferred until a future release, especially if it were discovered either mid or late in development. But I do understand and agree with the spirit of the suggestion. And by the way, the reason why I think, product manager would not immediately seek to fix this is because in this field that's being shown, can you scroll down? In which case the user could center it such that the user would be able to see the full extent of the subcategories. i.e., there's a workaround. So I don't know enough about how this particular window works, but that would be, I would think, a reasonable solution is to make it scrollable so that then a user could scroll and make all of the items display on the screen.
All right. I know the jury is in their last moments of finishing the review. We have some more time, and let's switch to the White Council to their usability suggestions. They submitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, quite a lot. I would like to start with add a select all unselect button for the profile notification settings. So nice screenshot. So it's
and they even in their actual results, I love how they say what currently happens and then how their suggestion would fit into that. And expected results, they provide a benefit of why it should be done. So I have a question. So it would seem to me that the actual result should just contain current, and the suggestion should be part of the expected results. In that, here's the suggestion, and this is why it would be good to do. All of that seems like future looking, etc., whereas the actual results are explaining what's happening now. So I have a slight, to me, criticism of how this is written. I would move the suggestion down to expected results.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, because that's what user expects. Yeah, but given that we have to use this bit of workaround, that we have to submit the usability suggestions as low bugs, I think overall it's pretty good suggestion. It's a lot of checkboxes, and you might not want to check all of those individually. So yeah, definitely a valid suggestion.
Yeah, I this is something that I've seen on sites that have long lists that I find personally frustrating. I mean, if you wanted to only highlight a few things out of a long list, you have to go and uncheck everything but what you want. That just seems crazy. Why not have a deselect all, and then you can go and be more precise. Yeah. So I have had this criticism of sites I visited in real life, and so I always will agree with this particular suggestion that you should make it convenient for your end users to either clear everything or select everything.
Yeah, not a bad suggestion at all. And yeah, I'm quite sure that Sergey is also interested about those usability suggestions to make Community Z. And one more time, shout out to them and to their product manager, Sergey, to make that website even better. I noticed that Charlie joined us, and I heard some birds whispering that we might be able to announce the winner. But first of all, let's hear from the people who were part of the jury. How was the review? How was it for you, Markus, to review the reports? What did you notice looking at the bug reports more closely?
I think it was difficult to make a decision, and I noticed that there were a few grammar mistakes in some of the reports. Some of the titles had a few problems. So that was really unfortunate in my opinion. Also, the number of reports differed from both sides, and that definitely has an impact on the value of the whole results. So but I leave the stage to Yuliya, who will probably announce who will be the winner now.
You're muted, Yuliya. Yeah, but
sorry. No. I wanted to pass this honor to the head of our juries, Charlie, who made tremendous job to organize it all. I know how he cared much about it. It was so. I get a lot of pleasure to work with him, so I gave this word to him, and I think it's a great honor to him. So, Charlie, take the stage, please.
And I heard from Charlie it was super close. And Charlie, you're still muted, so let us know. Was it really that close?
It was. Hello, guys.
Hi.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, it was very close, and it was really hard to decide. I think those few mistakes and others, like for example, selecting the wrong device, those little mistakes when reporting, was give the winner to others. About the two competitors today, and it was really exciting. I'm still excited.
Nice, yeah. It was also exciting for Markus, me, and Terry to look at the reports, and yeah, our two team captains, Magic Wand and Versus, also joined us now to hear the final result. And now we see you, Charlie. Hi, great. And yeah, we looked at the reports, the usability suggestions, the bug reports, the formatting of it, and yeah, it was on a really high quality, and I can imagine it was a close decision. So yeah, Charlie, are you willing to announce who made it and who made second place?
I think so, yes. Of course, I don't know how to say this because it's very important for the competitors. I think I have to summon the White Council because they are the winners of the test. Testing Cup 2021, second one, and that we've done so far. The Soul Warriors are in second place. It was very tough. I really like it. I never enjoy much reviewing like all reports with Markdown and everything. Like they try hard and they deep harder because those comments at the bottom, like it is reproducible in that environment or not. That counts at the end for our job, but also if we think on our customers, they value that. That's also important. So it's like a win-win. If they're doing it now, if they do it in the everyday work, amazing. So congratulations,
yeah.
White Council.
Congratulations, White Council, winners of the Testing Cup 2021. And of course, congratulations to Magic Wand, to you and your team, for making it all the way to the final. Awesome journey, awesome event. Versus, sorry, I had to mute you for a second because there was some background noise from your sides, but I will unmute you now so you can have some comment. How do you feel now?
Like, it was a very different experience, and the way my team played, it was like a good experience for me. And first, I would like to thank the committee, the organizing committee. They have organized this in such a great manner. So hats off to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for these words. And yeah, like Charlie said, it was super close in the end. But actually the White Council won also all the previous rounds. Is that correct? You also or you also had the most points in all previous rounds. So pretty solid performance throughout this whole cup. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for competing, and congratulations one more time for winning this whole thing, to you and the team. There are prizes for the winner. There are also a lot of prizes for the second place team. Let's hear from you, Magic Wand, and your team, the Golden Star Warriors. How are you disappointed to just have the second place, or how do you feel right now?
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Actually, we do not disappointed. We not still disappointed about the second place because we think the White Council is very difficult competitor. When the quality of their work is very high, we know about that because we see the the point that during the first round to the semi-final round, and all the time they are very stable. The quality is very high, and they are very difficult competitor with us. So we do not. We happy because we are close to win, but we do not unhappy or disappointed about we lose because we know that we are improving. our team are improving. So maybe next time, last time, in the last year, Golden Star Warriors is in the third place. Now we in the final round. So it's a huge improvement. So I don't, we do not this point much. We're looking forward to the next year and try hard to beat the final. That's all.
Wow, that's that's the best attitude I think you can have as a competitor, and just strive to become better, be appreciative. And you have participated in the last year's testing cup, and you improved from last year, and it was almost the same team, or the identical team that participated. So awesome second place, and admitting that White Council was just super strong as opponents. And congrats again for the second place, Magic Wand and team, all the Golden Star Warriors. And impressive attitude towards maybe not only the testing cup, maybe towards life. So to not being disappointed, instead to see it as a challenge and to become better.
And if it works, Magic Wand, difference was really tiny. 3 points.
Just 3 points? 3 points?
Just 3 points difference.
Yes. So very, very close, because as I remember in the semi-final, in the previous round, we are about over 10 points apart. So this time is very, very close. And remember, White Council, next year we will meet again in the final.
Exactly. That's the spirit.
Nice. We know who's the winner. We did all these weekends with testing. It were intense weekends, not only for the participating teams, but also for Yuliya and her team, organizing it around the jury, of course. And it all came together today in this finals event. Yuliya, any more thoughts or closing thoughts from your side? Any shout outs?
Well, it was, as you said, a really long and interesting experience. I've got lots of fun. It was a very even unexpected for me experience, because I've learned some new things. I've learned how to invite testers to test cycles. It was a bit fun because I never did that, and I enjoyed it truly, because I had the most wonderful team. I must give up again, shout out to Zorica, who created lots of visual content, who supported me in all my steps, who was always there to give me anything that I wanted. I want to give a special shout out to Charlie, because he was also as much supportive as I can't imagine who can be, but he helped me a lot. He created all these test cycles. He found the programs, the apps, and the websites for our tests. So it was very, very big work out there. And also, I would like to thank all our judges. They did tremendous job as well. They worked hard. They did it as fair as they could. And I also would like to thank all the teams participating for their time, for their emotions, for their uniteness, and this so to say spirit of our community that they brought to us. So I congratulate the White Council with their winning this cup, and also I congratulate our Golden Star Warriors with their well-deserved second place. And it was such a tiny difference between these points. So I hope that you win it next year, and you will stay with us and enjoy our events in the future. So thank you everyone who participated, who took much part in it. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Markus, because without you, it wouldn't be even possible. And I also know that Zorica also wanted to thank another special person for our community. So Zorica, take your place, please.
Few of us know that the testing cup. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Only few of us know that the testing cup was Evgenia's idea. And what we wanted in the Testing Cup 2021 is not to outshine her Testing Cup 2020, but to try to get too close to her quality, to the quality of her work. It was almost impossible because we were working day and night for 2 months, and we hoped that we were at least a bit closer to her quality. So, Genia, thank you very much for creating the Testing Cup and helping us all along.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Genia, who created this cup last year, who put a lot of effort in all the setting up all the rules, and we were able to pick up what she designed last year and to improve, to iterate on this. To have this live event today. I enjoyed it pretty much, and this tradition definitely needs to continue, and it will continue. So looking forward to next year, to the Testing Cup 2022. Yeah. So one more time, thanks to all participants. Thank you to, congratulations one more time to the White Council. Congratulations to the whole team for winning this whole thing, for winning all the previous rounds. And it was so close that, and you made an awesome second place. Golden Star Warriors, Magic Wand, and his team. So awesome teams participating in the final. Awesome work from all the organizers around the Testing Cup, around Yuliya. And it was so much fun to host this event today, to look at the results of the team, to have this very special thing in our community, this Testing Cup. And thank you one more time, and have a nice evening and day, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Cheers.